Welcome to the AAFMAA's Mobile Enablement Leveraging Software AG Technologies conference call. My name is Lorraine and I will be your operator for today's call. At this time, all participants are in a listen-only mode. Later, we will conduct a question-and-answer session. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I will now turn the call over to Mr. Amrish Pathak. Mr. Pathak, you may begin.
Thank you very much. As a Chief Information Officer, I've certainly benefited from webinars from Software AG and learned quite a lot. One thing that I've learned recently is that within organizations, IT departments and business operations typically work one of two ways. One, where the business operations is sort of leading and IT sort of follows along. Or the other scenario where IT is leading and business operations is following along. Regardless of which case exists, the thing that I've realized is that it's a partnership. And for successful projects, there's usually a clear indication of a strong partnership between business and IT. And today I'm going to talk to you about specifically that partnership and how it benefited AAFMAA in their mobile initiative. So what I'll talk to you about is what we did with the initiative, who was involved, what specifically was involved in terms of implementation, and I'll give you some specific examples of what we did and talk about the lessons learned and what our future plans are. For those of you who don't know AAFMAA, AAFMAA stands for the American Armed Forces Mutual Aid Association, which was started about 136 years ago when General Custer was wiped out at the Battle of Little Bighorn. At the time, the Army turned to a small committee to try to solve this problem, and now AAFMAA has now become the largest not-for-profit organization providing life insurance, survivor assistance, and other benefits to the people in the military. We've been able to do that at the lowest cost, primarily because back in 1974, Software AG, shortly after it was founded, partnered with us to take care of the people in the military. And we've been able to do it very effectively, very efficiently, and at the lowest cost possible. And it's worked out quite well. And about 10 years ago, Karl-Heinz Streibach, the CEO of Software AG, was in Washington, D.C., and essentially with one handshake with our current president, Walt Lincoln, who was a big supporter of Software AG, renewed that relationship between both organizations. And it's been tremendous for all of us, and it has really helped to take care of the soldier, airman, sailor, and Marine. And what I want to talk to you about also is that AAFMAA has partnered with MetroStar Systems. MetroStar Systems is AAFMAA's IT provider, and they've outsourced their entire IT to MetroStar since 2005. And MetroStar serves customers across the government and commercial sectors using CMMI and ISO standards, being highly skilled in Software AG products and based out of Washington, D.C. in the Northern Virginia area. AAFMAA's customers are either current or former military, with the distribution being about even between the retired and active duty. And within AAFMAA, from the systems point of view, the user context can actually be twofold. The internal user or the staff member at AAFMAA is one user who may be working related to underwriting or policy administration, customer relationship management, compliance, or vendor management. Or it actually may be AAFMAA's end customer who is the member. And that member may be seeing the systems from the marketing point of view through websites, or making a new purchase through sales, accessing customer service, or filing a claim, making a payment, or getting survivor assistance services. So in terms of technology at AAFMAA, the business drivers are really just like most organizations. It's to increase new business, it's to reduce operational costs, it's to comply with regulations and reduce risk, and it's to know our customers and respond to their needs quickly. It's also to be competitive in the marketplace, and all of this is really aimed at satisfying our customers or our members. However, for IT, there are several challenges, and our priorities and budgets must factor in key people and processes within the organization. The Chief Executive Officer is constantly concerned about increased return on capital and mitigating risks. The Chief Operating Officer is trying to control operating costs and address threats. Marketing is always trying to know the customer and rapidly respond to their needs with appropriate products and services offerings. And services is trying to ensure that products and services are accessible and adaptable to the changing needs of the military. So our digital strategy is aimed at allowing AAFMAA to provide superlative personal service to the member with, number one, modern and robust IT infrastructure, two, a superb digital user experience using the 4 forces, and those forces are namely cloud, social, mobile, and big data, and 3, utilizing paperless solutions and business process automation wherever possible to enable AAFMAA to be more competitive in the marketplace and allow AAFMAA to be constantly innovating in their business through digital technology and having customer-centric innovation within a superb user experience and having complete end-to-end automation. At AAFMAA, our digital strategy is already in process, and in terms of a planning point of view, our strategy requires that we have a process where we forecast IT initiatives on a 2-year basis. And essentially what happens is every 2 years we establish and update business objectives and goals and then align those IT initiatives to meet the stated goals and objectives. We require that any IT initiative being considered must have clear cost-benefit analysis and a clear business case. Next, we focus on the business process and do so using impact and risk analysis. In fact, AAFMAA is actually in the risk business and is always cautious during implementation so that service to the member is never disrupted. And we look at existing business processes and establish the to-be processes using as much automation as possible with Software AG and Microsoft technology. We look at the technical perspective as well, and we ensure that we're maintaining and not adversely impacting the existing technical environment and architecture, which is based upon open industry standards. We rely on the partnership and trust of the organizations, including Software AG and MetroStar, to execute the approved IT initiatives and projects and continuously monitor and improve. This strategy has actually been successful for us since 1974. AAFMAA has relied on Software AG products for mission-critical applications since 1974, and more recent to that, AAFMAA has migrated, with the help of Software AG and MetroStar, from the mainframe to the open systems environment in 2007 and 2010. And then in 2011 and since, we have embraced a web and social collaboration. More recently, we have embraced mobile, and specifically with mobile modernization for our business processes. So with mobile specifically, we've seen an explosive growth in the use of mobile devices and consequently mobile electronic services in recent years. Our tech-savvy population expects now to do anything at any time and anywhere. AAFMAA, like many organizations, is designing and delivering services in real time using wireless and mobile technology. The recent statistics are outstanding. 6.8 billion mobile phones in the world, with more than a billion smartphones and about 100 million plus smartphones in the U.S. So it's no surprise that mobile is one of the 4 forces, along with big data, cloud, and social collaboration, that are the essential elements of Software AG's enterprise digital strategy. Mobile is a key technology allowing the digital enterprise to immediately respond to user demands for information in real time at any time, anywhere. Today, it is possible through mobile solutions and Software AG technology to present relevant business data anytime, anywhere, And today, in fact, I'm going to walk through the specific mobile solutions that have demonstrated using Software AG products to significantly accelerate our business processes and decision-making capabilities. Today, at AAFMAA, the staff is known for providing superlative personal service to members and their families. And our mobile initiative was to complement that and provide further self-service features for these interactions with the member. We decided to do this because the majority of the existing usage of our systems was from mobile devices, and our members were actually demanding this capability. We were focused on and concerned about the member needs and how they were interacting and engaging with AAFMAA, and we needed to improve the self-service aligned with our digital strategy to improve the user satisfaction. At the same time, we needed to maintain the high quality of service that the customer or member already expected, and we had to ensure information was instantly available and the user experience remained positive always. In order to do so, we had to focus on metrics. So we wanted to capture metrics where we were able to see how we could meet the member needs and the experience. We looked at areas including purpose, such as why they were there, task completion rates, what was important for them to maintain the customer satisfaction, what was the content and the structure going to look like. So we identified key metrics such as visit duration, download rates, bounce rates, and all of these would be indicative of really the adoption and usage of the mobile solution. Also, in order to be successful with this project, we had to consider the entire life cycle of the mobile application, starting from strategy to design to development to testing to security, distribution, deployment, and to continuous monitoring of the operational infrastructure. We had to invest in a mobile solution which delivered value, provided a seamless user experience, and allowed members to access and manage data at any time, anywhere. We needed to analyze through usage information, first, which devices were being used and what sort of challenges did they pose. We needed to design a user interface that was modern, relevant, and provided a seamless, positive user experience. And then we needed to determine the exact type of mobile application or solution, namely mobile web, web responsive, or native that we were going to develop. Also, we had existing business logic in our natural and native-based applications, and we understood that there were risks with rewriting the existing code, and considering the development of that was already in place, we looked at web services APIs that could be easily called by the mobile application. Then we needed to ensure that we had a true test environment to confirm both the functional and non-functional scenarios for the mobile app. In order to do this, we need to consider the adoption of a test-driven development methodology where any code could be developed that was testable. We needed to ensure we could measure the benefits and improvements to the existing business processes through analytics for the new application. And this included information such as usage, security, distribution, and transaction monitoring. As the web has evolved from Web 1.0, which was mostly read-only, company-focused content with home pages and owned content with simple web forms, directories, page views, banner advertising, and simple HTML, to we transitioned to Web 2.0, which was wild read-write, community-focused content with blogs and wikis and sharing content, tagging, cost per click, interactive advertising, and XML and RSS feeds, to Web 3.0, which is really indicative of the mobile, with content that's portable and personal, individually focused, with live streams instead of blogs and wikis, with consolidated content, and smart applications such as the Internet of Things, and focused on user behavior and engagement with behavior advertising and the semantic web. So for the user experience, we actually conducted usability testing to mimic the user's context and environment. So we had to look at things such as what happens if a wireless connection or signal drops in the middle of a session. What does the user expect to happen, and how would the user know what to do next? We realized that design was not just what it looks like and it feels like, it's how it works. And to be successful with this initiative, the mobile solution required involvement and, again, partnership from business operations. And specifically with mobile, it was it required involvement from marketing to really understand, define, co-create, launch, and measure the solution, specifically focusing on the user interface, the content strategy, the branding, and the usability to ensure that the mobile solutions that we developed were actually used by our members. So with the user experience, the user interface itself was very important, and we realized that there were trade-offs. For example, a pretty user interface without logic behind was useless to us, and fantastic logic with a terrible UI was really userless to us. So we had to find the right balance to be successful with the mobile initiative, and we tried to design interfaces that let the user do the most with the least amount of effort or steps. For the mobile direction, we needed to consider what type of applications we were going to develop. So we considered the development of web applications, which were online applications accessed using the mobile web browser. We considered responsive apps, which are applications installed and running on the device using an HTML5 or similar user interface, and also considered native, which is installed and runs natively on the device and offers benefits of optimization for a specific device platform and form factor. So all in all, we considered all these different types of applications for each project that we undertook. We also considered the challenges that are presented with mobile development, ranging from specific device screen sizes, ranging from small to large, different operating systems such as iOS, Android, and Windows, to different device capabilities such as the cameras and processors and security of the device, to the different delivery options for the device. All in all, these challenges were considered, and we needed to choose the right platform to achieve our usability objectives without compromising on security. For the mobile development platform, we chose Xamarin, which is based on Microsoft.NET, and it allows development to reuse libraries and frameworks which it contains for mobile development, and supporting iOS, Android, and Windows devices very easily, while leveraging native performance and having full API coverage. The platform could deploy the same code base to different mobile operating systems, making code truly reusable. And by full API coverage, I mean access to all aspects of the device, including audio, Bluetooth, maps, graphics, messaging, motion, social media, etc. From a C# and coding perspective, there were a number of advantages as well. Simplicity with static typing, and statically typed so you could avoid pitfall of errors that typically afflict other languages. You could use language integrated query, which is LINQ, in your project to query, filter, and select data from in-memory arrays. You could parse XML easily, and you can set up event handling easily as well. Thus far, we've talked about primarily the front end, but the brains of the application, the mobile application, actually came from the Software AG part of the enterprise. And with Software AG tools, we needed to be able to bridge the front end and back end and really present a seamless user experience without having to rewrite any of the existing systems. With Software AG, we are able to design to meet the response and processing times the users expected with the resources available. We were able to design to preserve data integrity compliant with standards using XML for data interchange. We were able to design for usability using application layering, loosely coupling presentation and business logic layers, and we were able to design for scalability to support the addition of capacity and users over time without negatively affecting performance. And we were able to design for reliability, to be able to have a reliable experience when users needed it and consider systems failures and recovery, as well as for simplicity, making the experience interactive, and then for security, to ensure that we had compliance with existing security standards such as FISMA, which is the Federal Information Security Management Act, and the Payment Card Industry Standard, PCI, for credit card payment processing information. And we were able to do so utilizing encryption of data storage and transmission. We developed web services using the major types of web services available, including REST, which had its advantages due to its simplicity and inherent platform-agnostic approach, as well as for allowing for stateless, cacheable, simple-to-consume client-server architectures, as well as the Microsoft standard for web services, WCF, which abstracts implementation from the transport and data technologies, as well as the most popular SOAP for web services. This code that we developed could still leverage existing applications and services and business logic that were there in Database and Natural. And this was possible thanks to Software AG products, namely Natural One and EntireX, which allowed services to be enabled from Natural to the mobile application. Using Natural One, we were able to quickly develop and deploy these services. And using Natural One, SOAP structures and WSDL descriptions could be generated easily from existing source directly from within the Eclipse environment. And we were able to build mobile apps using EntireX to connect to Database to do things such as look up, save, change data, and return it back to the user on the mobile device. With EntireX and Natural One, it was possible to have integrated mobile web services working together. We could add or change services incrementally without having to re-architect the back end. The amazing thing was that we could deliver apps across different devices and platforms with low latency and high throughput using EntireX and the same code base that was there in Natural and Database. For the test environment, we utilized a combination of simulators, which included an SDK and tools for different devices for testing and debugging purposes, as well as physical devices so that we could test features with phone, SMS or text, GPS, camera, Bluetooth, and Wi-Fi. We tested for both functional and non-functional scenarios, running a combination of automated and manual tests. From the security perspective, we tested for authentication and session management, input validation by mapping out areas of input and observing the output, data storage by checking if data was accessible to unauthorized users or third parties, and the encryption capabilities for each device. For our software development lifecycle, we utilized an agile version of the test-driven development methodology. And what this did was it allowed for each project to be set up as iterations for no more than a couple of weeks in duration. And then each developer was required to design and write test cases even before the code was written. This ensured that the code was testable, and unit testing actually took place continuously with test cases and defects, and that they were captured with failure of test cases. Each iteration was tested before the next build. Once we deployed, we measured the usage, security, and transaction monitoring information. And for this, we used a combination of Software AG and Google Analytics tools. And through the statistics, we were able to confirm the stated features of each application and confirm that we could easily access information and update as needed, and essentially confirm the proper and secure operation of the application. Now what I want to do is talk to you about some specific examples of AAFMAA at AAFMAA for the mobile solutions that we've been discussing. First, we'll look at the challenge that was presented for the project, what the solution was, and what the results were. Then we'll look at how each mobile initiative meets AAFMAA's business imperatives. And AAFMAA's business imperatives are mainly sell more, which means increasing revenues, control costs, which are reducing labor and operating costs, or 3 is making wise investments or avoiding potential future costs. The first initiative was AAFMAA's mobile website for AAFMAA.com. The challenge was to increase the usability of the website on mobile devices and rebrand AAFMAA to the members to be accessible to a wider audience and ultimately increase membership. The solution was built upon web services, and we were able to succeed ahead of schedule with targeted content and a mobile-optimized web app. And this allowed AAFMAA to sell more or increase revenue. The next initiative was AAFMAA's mobile payment. This initiative was actually for our existing members or existing customers. And what this did is it allowed them a self-service platform to view account and policy information and make payments and access other key information such as documents. The solution utilized web services with a native user interface connected to Software AG technologies, namely EntireX, AdaBase, and Natural, with social connectivity. The results were that we implemented in less than a month, avoided a huge rewrite effort, and provided a secure method to access information and payments for the customer. And we were able to do so by deploying this to the Apple iTunes Store. And what this did is allowed AAFMAA to both control costs and to make wise investments. Then in January 2015 of this year, we successfully launched a mobile application to connect today's military spouse community, the ever-elusive 18 to 29 millennial generation. The solution was using mobile web services with a rich user interface with content and full social connectivity and a mobile optimized application. The results have been tremendous thus far. As with SpouseLink, we've noticed that we have had tremendous growth in unique visitors to the site, including all the social media channels that AAFMAA is involved in, including Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, and Google. What I'd like to do is talk to you about some of the lessons learned from our initiatives. And the one thing that we've learned specifically is that we've been successful because we have focused on the user needs and their requirements. We realized that the adoption of mobile apps is highly dependent on proper marketing from the organization, meaning that if the organization develops mobile applications but doesn't market them properly, that negatively impacts adoption and usage from your audience. We also learned that we had to design for usability without compromising on security, and that relying on our partnership with Software AG and MetroStar was very key. And we needed to have agile development and rollouts. With Software AG solutions, which were built to last, we needed to have good testing and quality analysis and measurement in place, with impact and risk analysis and a hands-on management team. The key benefits with Software AG were that we were able to extend applications to the mobile apps through one common platform while enabling a seamless user experience. And we were able to handle multi-channel development on any device platform without having to do any rip and replace projects. And we were able to integrate data securely and efficiently across the enterprise while reusing the existing business logic in AdaBase and Natural. The future of AAFMAA's digital strategy will be focused more on leading with business innovation and complete digitization, and leveraging the existing technology investments in Software AG, and digitizing as much as we can using the four dominant technology forces: social, mobile, data analytics, and cloud. The expected outcome are high-quality digital services which are quick and easy to use, built around the needs of the users, that are continuously improved and designed to meet business imperatives, and designed to integrate smoothly with non-digital channels as well, and work seamlessly across different mobile and different computing platforms, and always keeping data secure for the customer. I offer all of the organizations who are involved in the mobile initiatives to consider offering high-quality online digital solutions to their customers, to offer benefits such as cost savings, increased revenue, and brand recognition, as it did for AAFMAA, and consider mobile apps for user engagement and social collaboration, and ensure that those who are using Adabase and Natural invest in EntireX and Natural One. This offers not only all of the digitization advantages that we've discussed, but as well as plug-and-play integration capabilities, as well as open technology standards and real-time visualization and analytics to meet their business needs. And with that, I will open it up for questions. Operator?
Thank you. We will now begin the question and answer session. If you have a question, please press star then 1 on your touch-tone phone. If you wish to be removed from the queue, please press the pound sign or the hash key. There will be a delay before the first question is announced. If you are using a speakerphone, you may need to pick up the handset first before pressing the numbers. Once again, if you have a question, please press star then 1 on your touch-tone phone. Standing by for questions. And at this time, I am showing no questions.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for attending today's call. And we will keep you posted on the recording and where you can find that in a couple of days. Have a good day.
Thank you. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This concludes today's conference. Thank you for participating. You may now disconnect.